The rock of eternity slowly began to descend. Soon, its target would reach the earth itself. The beast that had long since been sealed away stirred as it began to awaken. The tri-beast of evil, now under the influence of Mr. Mind. Meanwhile, the wizard lied on the ground, watching everything he had fought for fall apart. Savannah, who had managed to repel the mechanical monster that was the Atom, rushed to his side at that moment. Savannah and the wizard had never seen eye to eye on many things, and for a long time they were enemies to one another. Savannah had loved his wife, the future that they had planned to have together as a family. But when it was taken from them, Savannah had attempted to use all of his resources to bring them back. Everything, every scroll, every text, every power that he could find to try to reach the veil, to reach the other side. Savannah's exploits drove him to the point where he came face to face with other gods, powerful beings, those of great strength. Savannah killed them, and he in that time became a Campione. But for every god that he came across, he gave them a choice. That he would not fight them, that he would give up his power, his title, everything, if they would give him his one wish to bring back those who he loved. But time and time again, the gods he came across refused him. And his anger slowly began to grow, for all he could see were selfishness among these gods. None showed any true compassion. There was no love amongst them, only the greed of what they could take from this world. And through Savannah's exploits, he came to the presence of Billy Batson, a young man turned Campione. When he first came into conflict with the champion, the two were opposing forces night and day. But slowly, an understanding began to form between them. A begrudging respect. For the young man, Billy Batson, he sympathized with Savannah. So much so that he even petitioned the wizard on his behalf, but the wizard would not listen. Eventually, in time, there came another conflict. As such, Billy and Savannah found themselves on the same side, an alliance in times of desperation. But little would Savannah know that these events had been orchestrated. The one known as Mr. Mind knew of the wizard. He knew of his chosen champions and knew of the difficulty in defeating them. So he required the assistance of Savannah. The plan was easy enough. Create an enemy that would require both of them to unite, only for one to be betrayed. And of course, Billy was that person. But it's not as simple as you might think. When they came into conflict with this enemy, Savannah had been given the choice. He could either save Billy or save himself. Of course, he struggled with this. He had been in conflict with Batson more times than he could count. They had taken each other to hell and back throughout the years. And now it would be so easy. All he had to do was leave him. Leave him to die, and he would gain everything he had ever wanted. But something stopped him. Savannah couldn't go through with the act. And on his part, for Billy Batson, as if the wisdom of Solomon had come to light, in his final moments, he pushed Savannah away. saving him but dooming himself. The record of this incident was lost. Savannah was only remembered as a betrayer, because even though he did not make the choice, he swore on the Rock of Eternity that he would not betray Billy Batson. And while he had not been the one to do it, a betrayal still occurred, for this was his plan from the beginning. Because he had broken such a vow, he was expelled from the Crinjar family home. For this and all of his other exploits, Mr. Mind kept his end of the bargain, in a way of speaking. But his way of power is dark and twisted, and what he brought back were not his wife and unborn child, but abominations even to the gods. From then on, he swore with a vengeance that he would not allow Mr. Mind to come back to power. He disappeared. And with that, Savannah continued on as the disgraced Campione, a champion not recognized by anyone. So why, after all this time, why was he here? He was beyond forgiveness. He knew that. As the wizard looked into the eyes of Savannah, he saw compassion. He saw remorse. You choose to stand here with me after everything. How could I not? I do not do this for you, wizard. I do it for her. Your wife. She was better than I could ever be. She saw the best when I could only see the worst. When I felt like I was nothing, she gave me the hope to try, to have faith. I have lived my life in darkness. I don't feel that I am worthy to stand in the light. But that does not mean that I will allow the light to be extinguished. She cherished this world. Her dream was to make peace a reality, to stop the conflict between Campione and God. She staked her life for this. I thought that I could achieve it in my own way. If I could obtain enough power, I could strike down any god that dared disrupt the peace. But that type of peace would never last. For every god that I've slayed, for every beast that I've conquered, for every evil I've managed to defeat, I have only darkened my soul. Until now. Now there is nothing. The wizard would take the staff and place it in Savannah's hands. It is not too late. What are you doing? It's not too late for you. I can't be a champion. You know that who says you are a champion? You are not. But what you are is a man who has walked in the twilight. You have seen the light and the darkness. I have fought century after century. And now I leave it to you, Savannah. You are the only one powerful enough. But tell me, can you do it? Can you carry heaven and hell on your shoulders? I can. Then say my name, so that my power might flow through you. Savannah would usher the word Shazam, as the essence of power would transfer to him. Godou and the others that he carried in his arms had arrived to the Rock of Eternity, the girls jumping on immediately as Godou would go back to the descending rock. "Get in there and help the others. I'll try to slow this thing down from the outside." "But Master, you can't do it alone." "Don't worry. I'm just going to try to buy you some time. Once you're able to stop them, I'll come in there and join you. But we've got to get the rock secure." The girls nodded as they descended inside of the Rock of Eternity, as Godou, feeling his strength revive, would go to the bottom, using his strength, ushering in the power of the authority from Verithragna. He called upon the power of the bull to give him immense strength, to multiply his power 100-fold as he began to push back against the force of the descending rock. Meanwhile, on the inside, Salvatore Dani and Superman were reaching the climax of their battle. It was at that moment that Erica Blandelli would arrive, managing to slice the Man of Steel from behind, forcing him back down. "Salvatore Dani, I figured you would be here. Erica Blandelli, the Knight of the King Godou. I'm so pleased that you could join in the occasion. I only come on behest of my master. It's obvious that the Kryptonian is under control. Powerful magic is at work. We have to find a way of breaking the spell." As for Anna, Maria, and Liliana, they would aid Wonder Woman before she could be swallowed by the darkness, along with the other Athena, who followed them. As Diana broke herself free, she thanked the girls for her assistance, surprised to see that there were 2 Athenas. Why are there 2 of them?" "Because," Liliana said, pointing her sword towards the dark Athena, "she is Metis, the mother of Athena." Metis, the goddess of serpents and the goddess of darkness. "So, you know who I am?" "I do," Anna said. "We have been enlightened of your true nature. We will not allow you to fulfill the prophecy of dark. You will not swallow this world into the void of nothing." "It will be so easy," Metis said, "because I will not have to lift a finger. I will allow the insect to bring the darkness, the 3 faces of evil." The Rock of Eternity would shift, as from out of it the beast would break free, its body now melded along with that of Mr. Mind. "Finally, I have been given my true form. Now, this world shall be devoured." The beast would break free, breaking out of the rock. Godou watching it fly by, he now had an impossible decision to make. With no choice, he would leave it behind as he descended faster after the beast, grabbing by one of its 3 necks, hurling at the dragon and stopping it forth. "Oh no, you don't! You're not getting away! Foolish champion! You dare to oppose me! You have failed at every step. My reign was inevitable. That's what you think. It's not over until you kill me! That can be arranged." Inside, Liliana and Maria would try to fend off against Metis, while Diana turned to Salvatore Dani and Erica as they were continuing to deal with the possessed Superman. Thinking fast, she would use her enchanted lasso of truth, binding it around the older Kryptonian. His strength was able to resist even its firm grip, as she could just barely hold him down. Erica would use her power in mastery over magic and alchemy, creating strong iron rods to keep him in place, shackling him to the earth of the Rock of Eternity, as Salvatore would grab him from the back. I know you have great conflict within you, Kryptonian. Now, Diana. Yes. The lasso of truth would begin to glow. The feral green eyes of Superman looking back at her. Do not allow him to continue to warp your mind, Kal-El. This is not who you are. Tell me, what is your true self? I am Kal-El, son of Krypton. That is not who you are. Diana wished for him to speak his truth. Yes, he was indeed the son of Kal-El, born of Kryptonian, but he was not that in nature. That was not how he was raised. The first name he ever knew, the first name that was ever uttered to him. Speak the truth. The lasso commands that you answer forth. Who are you? I am Clark. Dark smoke would bellow from out of his mouth as the spell would finally break. He no longer fought the restraint as he collapsed to the ground, desperately clutching for air. It's all right now, Diana said. It is good to see my friend has returned after so long. Diana, where am I? You're on the Rock of Eternity, friend, Salvatore said, Erica freeing him from his restraints. Had you continued, you would have taken all of my strength. I couldn't hold you for long. It's frightening to see that someone with no magic can have that much power. The Rock of Eternity. I don't know what that is. I wasn't here. I was in Kansas. I don't know what happened. I've been in the dark. It is not you, Kal-El, Diana said. It is the work of evil. Your mind was twisted with magic. Magic, you say? I shouldn't really be surprised now, should I? Bruce always said magic was going to be my downfall, and he was right. I don't know what I've done, but you haven't done anything yet, but we need your help. Yes, another voice said. We need all of your help. Dr. Savannah now carried the staff of the wizard. How do you have that? Salvatore said. The wizard is no longer with us. He has died. And you have stolen his power. Have you no... Calm down, princess. The power was given to me. And we're supposed to believe that? Superman said. It's been a while, Savannah. It has. It's nice to see that you're doing well. A symbol of hope. Something that the world needs. I can stop the rock from descending. And how do we know that you won't use the power against us? You fought against Kusanagi Godou. And now you wield the staff that could take his power away, and I do not have that authority. I made a binding oath with the wizard. I will take his place. To do so, I can no longer interfere in the world of man. My time there has come to an end. It's ironic. I finally gain all of this power, and in a way I am cursed to stay here. But what's wrong with your eye? Salvatore would ask. I sense no malice. The sins, where have they gone? And they have scattered. Likely to be defeated by other Campione and heroes such as yourself. I had to give all of it up just to wield this. You truly have changed. I never would have expected someone like you to make such a sacrifice. You can't stay stagnant forever, Donnie. Surely you should know that. A commotion on the outside would have everyone rushing over, as Athena was being absorbed by Metis, now entering into her true form. What's happened? Metis is going to merge the two halves of herself into one. Once she does so, she will be able to enact the prophecy of darkness. Is there any way that we can slow her down? Superman would ask. The only way is to strike her down with the power of truth, the sword of salvation, and only Kusanagi Godou has it. Where is he? He's currently out dealing with Mr. Mind. He's merged with the tri-beast of evil, and now they're racing towards the Earth. I'm on it. Superman would fly out immediately, as Salvatore would face off against Metis. Campione, have you now been given a satisfying challenge? Beyond all compare, a chance to strike down the true Athena, a chance that may only come once in a lifetime. You Campione are strange creatures. You face the full might of darkness and despair, and you smile. Metis, Diana said, wielding along her sword, pointing it towards her. I warned you. You will not get a second chance, Diana. And I have told you that I will strike you down as many times as it takes. I will not allow your evil to persist any further. Whether you be Metis or Athena, you will fall by this blade. You steal my sacred treasure and you point it at me. You Campione truly have great audacity. Savannah would call forth the girls, Erica, Maria, Liliana, and Enna. You girls can't take her, not the way you are now. But we can't just allow them to fight on their own. That's right. We came here to fight with Godou. He needs us. No. I am aware of this. Your relationship to Godou. The love that you have for him. If you truly wish to stand by his side, then you must also share in his blessing, and also the curse. A blessing? A curse? I can bestow it upon you. He would point to the 7 thrones. 7 thrones for 7 champions. Salvatore Dani and Kusanagi Godou occupy 2 of them. That leaves 5 more. These thrones, and you do not include yourself? Erica would say. No, I am not worthy to sit on the throne, to be a king. I have forfeited that right. I am nothing more but a watcher, an observer. That is an honor that I can give to you. If you truly wish to stand by Kusanagi Godou's side, then you must trust me. I don't trust you, Erica said. But I do trust in my king, Kusanagi Godou, my beloved. I will fight for him. I will die for him. I will serve him in any way that sees fit. I am a knight and I will stand by my master's side, Liliana said. I have always vowed to stand with Godou, Ina said. I do not know what the future holds, Maria said. But I know that in whatever case, my destiny is to be by his side in battle and in life. To be with the one that I love. Erica would smile at this. You can actually say it. Savannah would hold out the staff, telling each girl to grab on to it. The power that Godou wields, I will also share with you. You will serve not only at his side, but you will serve on the thrones. As each girl took a hold of the staff, Savannah would instruct them all to say the name of the wizard, the name of the champion. In unison, all 4 girls would yell, Shazam! Clouds would form around the girls as thunder would roar. Each girl's clothing had been transformed. They were given golden boots, a skirt that trimmed in gold, a belt that aligned their waist, along with bands around their wrist, and a white cape that bellowed. The surge of lightning crackling from head to toe. While each girl's uniform was similar in design, it was not in color. For Erica, her uniform was red, the same shade of color similar to that of Godou's, which she found to be most pleasing and most befitting as his first wife. Maria took on the color of green, similar to that of her shrine maiden uniform. For Liliana, the color of white that shimmered like the silver of her hair. And for Ina, the color of purple and violet, similar to that of the dark nature of Susanoo. Each girl felt reinvigorated with strength, unparalleled and unmatched. Now the power that wields within Godou, it too flows in you. Need only say the name, and you too will be blessed with the power. Now go forth. Cleanse this world of the darkness and vanquish it. The girls would fly out to meet with Salvatore Dani and Diana as they battled against Metis. While on the outside, Godou could feel that the rock, it was slowly losing its descent. It seemed as though it was starting to be suspended in midair. He noticed this even while he battled against the beast. And following close behind, a whirling speed of blue and red, almost imperceptible to the eye itself, save for his own. With a loud, thunderous punch, even in the void of space, one of the heads of evil would be knocked down. Godou would be aided as the 2 figures would stop it in its tracks. Are you back to normal? Yeah, looks like you could use a hand, friend. Always. You've broken free. It does you no good either way. Perhaps if you had chosen to be my pawn, you could have lived a little while longer, maybe even into the next world. You know, you're not the first ugly son of a gun who's ever tried to take over the world. Many have tried before you, but none can ever be me. No, they're always like you, so full of themselves, always believing that they've got the right scheme. But I'll tell you this, even if you manage to beat me, beat my friends, I promise you'll never win. Good always triumphs over evil. Even in the darkest of night, The light of tomorrow burns brightly. You can never overcome that. Your darkness only delays the inevitable. But as long as I still stand, as long as there's still breath in this body, as long as the blood still flows through my vein, you won't get one step closer to Earth. You'll have to go through the both of us, Godou said. Now, I call you forth, flaming stallion of the sun. Hear my cry and come to my aid immediately. Move swiftly, justly, and burn my enemy in righteousness. Godou would call on the authority of the stallion, its burning blaze shooting from the sun itself. Superman would ride in on the stallion as it zoomed past. I hope you don't mind me borrowing this, kid. Not at all. Give him hell. Right. Superman would slowly wrap himself around the horse, its fire beginning to dissipate as he absorbed it into himself. Your power and authority is weak. It vanishes even now. No, it's not vanishing. It's just giving me a little boost. Superman, now infused with the authority of the flaming stallion, would begin to deliver devastating punches that burned brightly against the beast. Each colliding crack of his punches seemed to be like a star exploding in the sky. Even down on the earth, it even looked as though there were fireworks off in the distance. Godou would respond in kind as he used the power of the Phoenix, picking up speed and gathering himself towards the beast. As they continued to fend and hold it off, the girls, now getting used to their newly found power and strength, would begin to aid in combat against Metis. While Maria had been blessed with superfound strength and speed, she found more use in using her magical ability in a form of defense and immobilization, along with Inna. They played on defense, healing, protecting, creating barriers, and finding ways of slowing Metis down. Meanwhile, Liliana and Erica would go on the offensive, along with Diana and Salvatore Dani. Savannah used all of his strength to keep the Rock of Eternity in place. The battles that commenced in the openest void of space was a battle of legend. Mr. Mind was slowly losing control over the monster, having to keep all of his focus on trying to maintain his dominating spirit while also using the power in battle proved to be more difficult than even he realized, and the great beast was looking for control once more. Superman and Godou would continue their relentless assault, as Godou would begin to use the power of the Sword of Salvation. You just seem to be full of tricks, aren't you? Yeah, but I try not to use them unless I have to. So you were holding back on me then? Well, you might have been my enemy. I knew you weren't a bad guy. You just got caught up in something. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. You're just as wise as Billy was. You knew Billy? I did. He was a good friend. Honestly, you look almost just like him. It's scary even. I never thought that there would be another. But in a way, I'm happy. You carry on his memory. You have a good heart just like him. You make a fine hero, Godou. I just need you to buy me some time. I'm going to use this sword to deal a critical blow. You got it. Superman would continue to tangle with the Tri-Beast, as Godou was surrounded by multiple golden swords. Now, with the power of the Sword of Salvation, I will discern the true meaning. You, the great beast, a beast of evil incarnate. You yourself are the three faces of evil. one of whom came from a dimension of darkness and void. You, the great tri-beast, who was sealed away in the rock of eternity, a rock from the heavens and a rock from the hell. One who united both the light and the dark. But that is only partially what you are. Your three faces, terror, sin, and wickedness, you prove to be quite formidable. And what binds you, what holds you in place, the one that possesses your mind? No, you, Mr. Mind, a Venusian worm who comes from a dimension that is not your original home. You yourself, a sentient insect race who invades the mind and controls the will of man. You were birthed in a world of darkness. You were only born in a way of evil. It is your nature, what you truly are. You cannot escape it, nor can you escape the judgment that has been written upon you since the day you were born. A judgment you will fall to the hands of the light that shines from my blade, the sword of salvation. The multiple swords would begin to stab themselves into the beast. As it cried and yelled out, Mr. Mind found himself losing all control. If he stayed merged with it, it would result in his death. The swords continuing to plunge in, Mr. Mind had no choice but to leave in that moment, as Godou would call upon another of the authorities, the power of the boar. Using the strong divine beast, he would crush the three faces of evil with his own, before summoning the goat authority, calling for divine lightning to strike, stretching out his hand as he incinerated the creature. The monster was slowly destroyed, dissipated into ash and dust. Godou would use all of his strength to burn away the beast once and for all, so that it could never again be used as a weapon against the earth. With the final plunge of his blade, he stabbed the heads, forcing it to submit and to yield to death. For Mr. Mind, he found himself in the clutches of Superman. No, you can't do this to me. I've controlled you before, and I will control you. I think that's enough out of you. We need to get back to the others. Right. Superman and Godou would join in the battle against Metis, now merged with the two halves of Athena. He was surprised to see that the girls had been turned into him. The girls took a moment, stopping as they saw Godou had arrived, calling out to him as he joined along with Superman, punching back against Metis. Were you able to do it? Were you able to defeat the beast? Maria would ask. I had some help. It wasn't too difficult. Though, I gotta say, it's wiped out 4 of my authorities. And now that just leaves you, Metis, Godou said as everyone stood behind him. The dark Metis had now transformed into a serpent that loomed over them all, her body continuing to grow to the point where the serpent might have been able to surround the entire rock. You think this changes anything? Kusanagi Godou. I'm sorry, Metis. What happened to you was wrong. You were betrayed. I get that. But I cannot allow you to continue. Please, let go of Athena. Put an end to this madness. Madness? You call it madness. Why do you continue to stand for them? You who bears the power of Zeus, the betrayer, the liar. You dare take his side in the matter? I do not condone Zeus's actions. And yes, I do wield the power of Zeus. But it is a power that I use to protect my world, to protect my friends. I can even use this power to right your wrongs. Please, Metis, let me help you. Help me. How cute. You want to help me. Who in the hell do you think you are? I don't need your help. I never did. So what? You killed the great tri-beast. You managed to stop that miserable worm. Does it matter? Do you really think I care? You think your words will be able to reach me? No. They are empty and pointless, just like my heart. I will make this world feel everything that I have felt. I am forgotten, left, abandoned. You think you know me. You know nothing. You were wronged. Betrayed by Zeus, your first husband. He feared the prophecy that should a son be born, he would be overthrown. In his fear, he swallowed you whole and kept you hidden away. But you gave birth to your daughter Athena, who split from the skull of Zeus. You were kept locked, hidden, separated from your true self. Shut up. Shut up. You were betrayed by the man you loved, Metis. He ripped love away from you, leaving only the void of darkness, loneliness. And in that loneliness, you wish to share that with the world. You would consume it in darkness so that the world can feel what you have felt. Shut up! Shut up! You're right. I was betrayed, abandoned by everyone. I stood by his side. I loved him. I cared for him. When Zeus had no one, he had me. But he threw me away, casted me aside for a world that will allow all of you to exist. You're right. I hate you. I hate you. I will destroy this world. Every world. I will make it feel what I felt. I will share my darkness with the world. I will destroy everything. Destroy the light. And when it's all said and done, you can all rot in hell. Everyone could feel the blowback of strength. Savannah was using all of his power to keep the Rock of Eternity from being crushed by the weight of her power. But then, the smaller Athena would appear once again, standing before Godou, turning back to Metis. So you finally figured me out. Athena? Is that... The other girls and everyone else in attendance would be shocked as Athena would jump into Godou's arms and kiss him, immediately sharing her power with him. He had already used the Sword of Salvation, but she used the last vestige of her strength to restore it for another go-round, transforming it from a sword to a scythe. You will need to deal the final blow, Kusanagi Godou, Athena said with a grin. I advise you not to miss. Right. Everyone, I need your help one last time. Create an opening for me, and I can strike her down. Both Liliana and Erica would move without hesitation, their swords striking against Metis. Superman would use the full blast of his heat vision to shoot her back, while Diana would pin her to the side of the Rock of Eternity with her sword, before using both hands and wrapping her with the extended lasso of truth muzzling her into place. Salvatore Dani would call on the power of the meteorite sword, a power given to him from his battle against Hyperion, as he summoned multiple large satellites of rock and debris, pulling them from the vestige of space, surrounding and holding her down. As Godou would jump forth, Maria and Enna would use their magic to stun Metis long enough. As Godou swung back with a mighty swing, the scythe would descend down upon her, cutting her in two and bringing her life to a close. The giant serpent would slowly begin to disappear as everything would stabilize. Everyone held on with bated breath, not sure what was going to happen next. Metis would vanish, and what was left was only Athena, the smaller Athena. Everyone would move to surround her, not sure if they were dealing with friend or foe. You can be at ease, everyone. I will not bring you harm. Athena? You're Athena, right? Yes. The spirit of Metis has now faded. Your enhanced sword of salvation has brought her to an end. Another god defeated by the God-Slayer. I wanted to be the one to deal the final blow, but I'm fine with sharing credit, Salvatore Dani said, before transforming and falling to the ground, collapsing. That took a lot out of me. Out of all of us, Diana said. You are Blendelli, right? Yes, Your Highness, Erica said. Your great-grandfather buried my beloved. I am grateful to you and your family. Your beloved? You mean Steve Trevor? You know, the members of the Black Copper Cross. He is said to be one of the best mages that ever lived. We've heard stories of how you two fought together, your exploits in defeating the god Ares, among others. He is never forgotten. That makes me truly happy. Thank you. And I see that new Campione have arisen as well, she said, looking to Godou, who also passed out due to exhaustion, being caught in the arms of the four girls. Everyone will retreat inside of the Rock of Eternity, as Savannah would assess the damage. Well, compared to everything else that's happened, we managed to avert disaster, apocalypse. So, all in a day's work, I suppose. But what now? Superman would ask. What are you going to do? I stay here. My days of meddling with Earth are over. I've given all of that up. So you're the new wizard now? More or less. I'm not asking, but Superman would cut him off. He would be proud of you. He saw something in you that not a lot of other people did. I'm not sure what the future holds for you up here, but I know that you'll do good. And that's all you can ask for. I can find a way of bringing you all back to Earth. No need to travel super far. With a tap of the staff, a portal would open. Or rather, a doorway. All you have to do is take it, and you'll be on the other side. The girls would thank him as they carried along Godou to bring him home. Diana would leave as well, along with Superman. They had a lot to discuss. It had been a long time since they had seen one another. And then finally, Salvatore Dani. Gotta say, didn't see this upgrade being in the cards. So, how do you feel? You finally gained the powers of the wizard after all this time. And you didn't even get to kill him. We don't always get what we want, Salvatore. And I know you still want your prize, right? I think I've gotten it. Consider the payment null and void. But I am curious. You're not going to be taking a seat on one of the 7 thrones. So there's me, Godou, his 4 wives, if you want to call them that. That only accounts for 6. What about the 7th? He will be here in due time. The lost Campione. Don't know if they're ready for that one. They have till the winter solstice. But now's not the time to bog them down with prophecy and vision. They should be allowed to enjoy their time of peace. But not too much time. Godou would awaken at his home. Slowly stirring as he stretched, it felt like everything that happened had been a bit of a blur. As he walked downstairs, the girls were all in the kitchen preparing dinner. His sister sitting on the couch, Shizuka. Godou? Look, I can explain. I know. Sit down. All right. While you were gone, doing whatever it is you do, someone paid me a visit. A visit? She called herself Athena, school uniform, had on a knitted cat-like hat. I'm sure you know who she is. So, what's with all this madness? And I'm not just talking about how you've somehow convinced these 4 lovely girls to go out with your sorry ass. I'm talking about all the crazy stuff that's been going around all over the world. Every time you disappear, there seems to be a strange phenomena taking place. Is there something you're not telling me? Well, it's... I'll just have to show you. Come on. The girls watched curiously as they all went to the backyard. I'm gonna do something and I'm gonna blow your mind. Alright? What? What are you possibly gonna do? You're gonna make it rain flying pigs? You're gonna do some type of magic, some sleight of hand? Please, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that you could possibly do that's going to explain away in Shazam! Immediately, Kusanagi Godou transformed before Shizuka's eyes. Well, you wanted the truth. Oh, Shizuka! Well, Godou, I didn't expect you to be so bold. Though I have to say, that's what I really love about you. Erica, now's not the time! Shizuka, wake up! Shizuka, please! Come on, let's get her back inside! Don't you want to transform first? Oh, right! Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. I accidentally transformed and almost burnt down the roof, Inna said with a grin. The roof? Okay, we've gotta lay down some ground rules and... Hold on, why are there bags at the door? It's only right that we be close to you. You are my master. I must be with you at all times. I have to make sure you don't do anything scandalous, Maria said. Nothing can be scandalous between a man and his wife, Erica said. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're not going to be getting into any funny business as long as I'm here. But it's all right if he does with me, Anna said. No, it's not! Godou would simply smile as the girls continued on ranting amongst themselves as he carried his sister to bed. There was a lot that he was going to have to explain to her in the near future. So much about this crazy life that he now lived. And yet, for everything that had happened, he wouldn't trade this life for anything. It brought him so many close friends that he cared about. It gave him a chance, a second chance at life, a new life. This is the story of Kusanagi Godou, a Campione, a king that cannot be controlled. To some, he is viewed as a force of nature, to others a devil. But to those who he loved the most, and to those in need of justice, he will always be a hero. This concludes Campione, Fury of the Gods. What if Godou Kusanagi was Shazam? Season 3, Part 8, the Season 3 finale. As always, when we get to the end of a season, I want to take the time to say thank you to everyone who have been supportive of this series. I know it's not the most popular on the channel. I know there probably aren't a lot of Shazam fans or Campione fans, but to the ones that take the time to watch this story, to enjoy and get lost in this world, I just want to say thank you. You know, like I always say, I can't do it without you. You make the channel grow. You make the core grow. And I just have a lot of fun. You know, I enjoy doing the Narutos, the My Hero Academias, the Dragon Balls. But, you know, when you get to do the more obscure type of stories, the kind of backwater stories, you might say, it's just fun to be creative, to give something new a try. And I've just had a lot of fun doing it. So I'm going to keep on doing it with this series. Next year, we'll get into Season 4 and all the more stories for Kusanagi Godou, the Campione, Shazam, as well as more tales from the world of Earth 2 in the anime DC Comics lineup. But until we return to the world of Campione, Fury of the Gods, thank you from PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, and stay tuned for everything else that's come out now and in the future. I'm Javon Harrington, signing off, and I'll see you next time.